Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome from S. Chand Publishing to this webinar today. I'm Rupa from S. Chand Publishing, and today we are proudly going to present to you, all of you, our today's webinar series, especially curated for pre-primary educators, which is in continuation from 14th of July, and this is our fourth interaction with our dear teachers who are taking care of foundational level children, the little ones. So very warm welcome. And this webinar would be taken by our expert, Ms. T. Rajeswari, who will be addressing today about the power of manipulatives in foundational literacy and numeracy. This is a quite new topic to all of us, and let us see. So this would be a 1 hour session from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Kindly be with us if it gets a little longer, because there is a lot of things Madam would like to share with us, just like yesterday. So have some, I'm sure you would like it. So before we begin the session, just a reminder to our dear audience that a quiz will be conducted, organized based on these sessions. So there will be total of 6 sessions. On the 6th day, 29th July, there would be a quiz. Now, creating no more delays, let me introduce to you our today's expert, Ms. Rajeswari ma'am. Now, all of you might be already familiar with her. Very warm welcome, ma'am, to this session. So I'll just share my screen also with all of you. Ms. T. Rajeswari is an early childhood education specialist. She is currently heading and supporting early years program development and execution department for Scolaire Education Services, Hyderabad. She holds a diploma from University of Cambridge International Examination in teaching methodology and an MBA in education management. She has a postgraduate diploma in early childhood education, post-graduation in HRM, MPhil in commerce, a B.Ed and an MA in child care education. She is authorized assessor for Quality Accreditation Audits through the Quality Control of India, which is associated with NABET. So I once again warmly welcome our today's speaker. So before I hand over this platform to ma'am, housekeeping rules for the participants today is participant will be muted throughout the session. Please ensure you have a pen and a paper to note important information. I'm sure you would have a lot of information, important things that you would like to note. The chat box will be enabled during the question answers round and disabled during the entire rest of the session. For e-certificate, teachers must fill out the feedback form to receive e-certificate. After the session, the feedback form will be sent to you to your registered email ID. So welcome all the audience, and now I hand over the mic to our speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Rupa. Thank you, team. Thank you so much. Hope the screen is visible now, Rupa.
Yes.
Right. Good evening, everybody. How are you all? And yeah, I'm back again with another session, which is a power pack session again to talk about the manipulatives, the power of manipulatives in the foundational literacy and the numeracy. Yes, we are going to explore the different, that is, now from today onwards, you will just hunt for the materials. After this session, I'm very sure that all the pre-primary teachers will be just waiting for the materials, and your eyes would be just on the objects. That's what I could see, I could visualize from all the pre-primary teachers from this today onwards. Anyway, let me not delay, and yeah. Now, when we talk about the importance of FLN in the early childhood education, first and foremost thing is, yes, through foundational literacy and numeracy, it is aptly said that there is an effective brain control. It means the children at this age they have the rapid brain development, and during this time the brain forms the essential neural connections for the language, reading and mathematical reasoning, and providing a strong foundation in the literacy and the numeracy will definitely help them to optimize their brain development and sets the stage for their later academics sessions, right? And then the other important element is the language development. Yes, uh, through foundational literacy and numeracy activities, there will be definitely the language development, which means the literacy skills such as vocabulary, comprehension, and communications are closely linked with the language development. And children who are exposed to the language rich environment, it means we cannot just keep blaming that children cannot talk in English or they cannot communicate. Who is teaching them the mother tongue? That one single point, if we can understand, that is more than enough. It means the mother tongue is influenced because the environment is supporting them, right? The same way, if the classroom environment, if the campus environment is supporting with the campus language without compromising with the local language, definitely the learners, the foundational year people will definitely absorb the language. So we cannot keep blaming them, because generally the teachers shift to the mother tongue for any explanation and other things. It is okay, but ensure that you use some gestures and and take a time frame saying that, okay, by the end of the week, all my learners will be able to communicate at least these many sentences. So try to have the goals, week-wise goals for their language development. If you are trying to reach that your entire campus of pre-primary to have a common language, right? And yes, the FLN program will definitely help for the cognitive skills. It means the numeracy skills, which involves logical reasoning, problem solving, critical thinking. Early exposure of numerical concepts such as counting, recognizing, pattern making, and understanding the quantity definitely will enhance child's cognitive ability and prepares them for more complex math operations in the later stage. Yes, it also creates a school readiness. It means the FLN program, children with the strong foundation using the foundational literacy and numeracy skills are better prepared for the formal education, because these learners will be very confident in using different concept formation. And they are more likely to get engaged in the classroom activities. They follow instructions, they participate actively in the class, they lead to the smoother transitions into the primary stage. And when we talk about the confidence and motivation, yes, the success in early literacy and the numeracy task boost the children to have that confidence, motivation to the learn. And when children feel learning challenges, and that is when they feel like they are not able, through the manipulative activities, through the hands-on activities, through the continuous support with the fundamental skills, they are more likely to embrace with the learning challenges and pursue academic goals with lots of enthusiasm. And yes, this FLN program in early childhood education is going to become a lifelong learning experience for them, because at this foundational literacy and numeracy skills, they are not only these foundational literacy and numeracy skills are not just essential for academic success, but they are also giving some scope for their lifelong learning, where they are connecting to the real life situations of whatever conversations, whatever manipulatives they are using in the class, right? And say for example, even to understand the different signboards that they experience when they go in the traffic, reading out some hoardings, all these things are becoming some sort of a base from the FLN program. And when we talk about the social interaction, Yes, language and numerical skills are essential for effective communications and social interaction. Children who can express themselves clearly and understand others' perspective have an advantage in building positive relations with the peers and also even with the adults like teachers, support staff, or anybody who is coming across in their life as an adult there, right? And they are more equipped in the day-to-day skills. It means these literacy and numeracy skills are integrated in their daily life, from reading signs and from managing finances. Like, say, for example, when they go individually, that is voluntarily to a shop, they know how much coin to be counted, what is how to identify the price tag. All these things are naturally created to them when they are what do you call involved in the foundational literacy program, right? And yes, through FLN, there is we are trying to closing the achievement gaps. It means providing early support and providing intervention program can help address the achievement gaps among the children with a diverse background and learning disabilities, promoting greater equity in the education. Now, when we talk about the parental involvement, yes, foundational literacy and numeracy often begins at home because it involves parents in early literature, because it is only through parents the language development is happening. It means the child is getting the first sound of the words through the mother tongue. So it means definitely the parent involvement is there, and anything that has been transacted or introduced in the school is applied in the home environment, where the parent are the main observers when the child is applying those skills in the real-time situation. Now, when we talk about why, that is learning through play is why it is important. Yes, rather than the traditional teaching methodology, rather than we trying to fix on our teaching transaction using the chalk and talk method, what is important? How play environment or play learning through the play in the early childhood development and education, how this is going to be what do you call a major element that every teacher need to focus. Yes, here are some key values that I wanted to make all my teachers to understand. Yes, through play, the children will show more attention and they show more interest. When learning is enjoyable, fun, children become more engaged and they get motivated to explore, discover, and learn many things that come across their way. And yes, learning through play will definitely provide opportunities for problem solving skills, critical thinking, decision making. It enhances cognitive skills such as memory, attentions, and in fact, it develops creativity and ultimately, I could say it fosters to the overall cognitive, which means the logical development for the learners. And yes, learning through play will also embraces social skills, which means play encourages interactions with the peers. Play promotes the development of essential social skills like communication, expressing what the child wanted, what the child likes, what the child dislikes. The child will start negotiating with the peers. The child will start resolving the conflicts. The child will start developing the skill of working, collaborating. Yeah, and yes, there is an art of expressing one's emotion. It means the natural way of expressing feelings are taken care through play. It means play allows children to express their their experiences. It means, see, generally we make the children to, that is most of the pre-primary children teachers expect silent classroom. The most of the time their instruction would be finger on the lips or put your head down. Now, ultimately, what is that the child is going to do by doing such actions? Rather, if the child is engaged in the play related environment where the child will start observing, the child will start relating, the child will start expressing, the child will show that happiness, the child will start communicating. The child is going to use simple language, meaningful language to express, thereby the emotional development will become more strong here. Yes, through play, there will be ultimate physical development, which means play often involves physical activities that contribute to the development of fine and the gross muscle development. And it coordinates and it keeps the body balanced. It always activates the body, and there is an active support for the physical development. Yes, play also helps the child for their imagination, creativity. Right, it means play encourages imaginative thinking and also creativity. It enables the children to create new worlds, scenarios, stories, expanding their creative abilities, and then fostering their original thoughts. Like, say, for example, the child wanted to move faster, the child wanted to express a flying movement. Just taking the simple object around and the child will start moving. So it means what? The child knows how to move fast, slow. It doesn't mean that the teacher alone has to express, oh, this is big, this is small, when we teach opposites. No, the child has the natural imaginations and they have the creative. Only thing is we need to give them time to explore, experience, and experiment with the objects around, right? Yes, through play, there is great scope for the language development where the child is able to use right vocabularies, right statements, and the child will start developing that comprehension skills, communication skill, right? And yes, through play, you are giving scope for the learners to express themselves freely without any judgments. They can experience with the different roles, emotions, identifies which contributes to their healthy sense of self rather than just struggling with one particular notebook, one particular pencil, looking at the board, copying it. Instead of all those things, if the child is allowed to use some materials, colorful materials, and allowing the child to come up with their own creative thoughts, definitely you will see that the child is coming out with lots of expressions without judgment. Yes, through play, you will see the child is going to develop confidence building, and you will see the child will come up with the success and achievements while playing activities, which improves his self-confidence and also self-esteem. They learn to take risk. They learn to set goals. They overcome challenges. They lead to the positive self-concept, right? And yes, through play, you will also see the cultural and social understanding. It means play often involves imitations of the real life situation, which helps the children to understand their cultural context and also the social norms. It also caters to the sense of belonging, acceptance in their community. It means they will know what to do and what not to do, what to talk and what not to talk, what will hurt others, what will give others a happiness. So this is how they will start incorporating the values, the skills through play. Yeah, and you will see through play, there is a scaffolding of learning as play provides opportunity even for the adult interference. It means when adults are involved, they keep observing, they will keep interacting, they will keep guiding them, they will start providing appropriate support, which makes the learner to develop that new learning skills. Yes, through play, you will see that there is a long-term impact. It means whenever the child is using multi-sensory organs where to touch, feel, and exploring different, you will see the impact is longer rather than just using a pencil, sheet, looking at the board. That is not the child. Whatever today the child is writing, tomorrow the child is going to forget. Rather, if the child is having an experiential learning through play, definitely there will be a long-term impact. Yes, all these can happen through the teaching learning materials that the teacher is supposed to use. Yes, children in the foundational stage are more engaged in the learning when they use multi-senses. Now, when I talk about multi-senses, yes, if I pose a question, what are the different sense organs we have? Yes, the eyes, the nose, the ears, the tongue, the skin. These are the senses which are the gateway of knowledge. Whatever you and me, including the learners whom we are dealing with, the 3.5, 4.5, and 5. Every human uses their senses to learn the new learning, right? So if the children are engaged in their learning using the multiple senses, using their learning will be more concrete. From simple toys for play to the specific manipulators like counting for numeracy, including the book, right, which would help the child's literature skills, which are mandatory for the early childhood age, which definitely, all these things would definitely make the child to be a very active participant, provided the teacher need to be a supporting agent for the learner, even how to hold the book, what to see, and connecting the book related um, uh, text in their classroom environment. It means the text to what the child is seeing should be connected with it, because many a times the environment is, that is the other than the book, the child sees the words or the sentences only on the blackboard with the teacher's handwriting. So that is again going to confuse most of the learners. Rather, if the teacher is trying to use a printed document to express the words, the sentences, what the teacher is trying to transact, and those statements or those words, if it is connected with the book font, nothing like that, the child will have a very good concrete learning experience, and the child will start getting that excitement of reading. And yes, as the child grows, using workbooks or the worksheet is also an appropriate tool for the teacher to actually check on the learner's learning progress. Yes, worksheets are the assessment tools which are concrete for the teacher to check on the learner's learning progress. Yes. Now, when we ask a question for ourselves, what are manipulatives? Yes, manipulators are what do you call, are the tangible objects or the materials that are used to support learning and understanding of various concepts, particularly in the subjects like math, science, and English, or the early literacy in the pre-primary stage. These physical objects serves as a hands-on tool that allows learners to explore, investigate, manipulate, generate ideas in the concrete and interactive way, right? And manipulators comes with a various shapes, size, color, and in also different forms. And they are commonly used in educational settings like classrooms or in the activity centers. Especially, you would see these type of manipulators are effectively used in the early childhood classroom. And if the classroom is not with the manipulative, then it means the classroom is then that is, the classroom is not complete. Yeah. When we talk about the different examples, yes, counter is one of the manipulative that is used for counting purposes. There are blocks which will engage the learners to develop the creativity, fine muscle development, seriating the task. Likewise, you have tangrams, which means which are like a puzzle type to rearrange to form the various shape, helping the learners to develop that spatial awareness and also problem solving skills. And when we talk about base 10 blocks, yes, it is a physical representation of units, tens, hundreds, thousands, and it is mostly used to teach the place values and the operations in the math. And when we talk about the fraction bars, yes, these are the early, early tools for the learners to develop that manipulative skills of fractions, helping the students to understand the operation of fractions very clearly using these bars. And when we talk about the pattern blocks, yes, it is like a geometric shape, and that can be arranged to create patterns, explore symmetry, symmetrical shape, and also to understand patterns, that is fractions, in the later stage. And when we talk about the Cuisinaire rods, which means which comes in the seriation sizes from smallest to tallest, from smallest to biggest, and it is also used for the counting purpose. right? And then the alphabet letters, then the geo boards, which comes with the what you call different pointers, where you will see a pegboard type with the rubber bands or the elastic bands used to create some geometric patterns, and later on slowly the child will start developing to create some different shades of patterns using these rubber band object, right? And you will also see play money, where children start their early basic financial literacy like addition, subtractions, right? So these are the different examples of manipulatives which I wanted to share with you all. And yes, the principles for the choice of TLM, it means we need to consider a few of the important principles when we select the teaching learning materials, and that is materials chosen should be attractive and safe. That is the first condition that every teacher and the school management to know, because because this is used by the children of different age groups. Since the age group whom we are dealing with is just 3+ and below 8, right? We need to ensure that is these children tend to put the materials in the mouth, or they will try to use it in a different so it's very important that these materials are safe, right? And very important thing is materials chosen should provide adequate opportunity for the learners to explore and experience with curiosity, so that the learners will start enjoying the classroom environment, the classroom culture. And it is very important that the durable and well-made materials, which is giving scope for the children to use it rough and tough, is very important, rather than something which is breaking or something which has a toxic smell. So if you wanted your children to use it again and again, use to the extent where they are exploring many things, it's very important that the selection of the teaching aid is very, very important, right? And the materials chosen should be preferably locally made or locally available, rather than trying to get it from some other country or some other places, because it would be very difficult if the material once broken, you cannot do the replacement if you get it from the other location. So always try to go with the local materials. So even with the locally available materials, how effectively the teacher is trying to transact is what is the beauty of the effective classroom. Yes, and material chosen should be preferably you need to mix the teaching learning materials purchased or locally made, whether it is made by the teacher or it is made by the children. But how effectively the teacher is using. Along with these materials, books also play a very important role in developing the language literacy. So having a small but a collection of the children's literatures completes the foundation. It means having a small set of library in your classroom at least, and having few books. See, generally in few of the schools nowadays, for the return gifts, like for the birthdays, every child donates one book to the school. So even you can come out with such culture where the children will start developing that interest of the print-rich environment. They will start loving the printed materials. They will start gaining that association for the meaningful statement transactions when they start exploring the pictorial representations that are given in the book. Got it, teachers? Yeah. Now, coming back to the materials that can be prepared by the teachers, yes, most of the teaching learning materials required in the foundational stage can be locally available with the low-cost, no-cost materials. See, at the beginning of the session, I was just indicating the same. After this session, after I've seen few of the examples, what I'm going to quote in my next coming slides, you will definitely realize the importance of effective usage of the papers, the color papers, the resources, like right from the stores, right from the bottle caps, everything would become your teaching learning materials from today onwards. Yes, because these are simple, low-cost material, and it also would become more effective because children will get that attraction because something which they already know. Though children will show their interest when they see objects which are known to them already, like bottle caps, they know already. Coconut shells, they know already. Egg cartons, yes, they know already. So all these things, when they see some resources in the class which they are seeing even at home, so their involvement, their excitement will be still more better. Got it. Now when we come to the materials that can be prepared by the children, yes, with the simple craft, with simple artwork, or by engaging the learners with some sort of what do you call, some targeted goals, where you are allowing the children to bring in their ideas of preparing some small cute toys, or engaging them with what do you call, some sort of theme related activities. Now say for example, giving them some color sheets and some plastic what do you call, plastic scissors, and with few glues and some twigs, asking them to create, if the topic is about transport, asking them to create a toy car, or some what do you call, some model of car, something like that. So it means the child, by giving such opportunities in the class, would definitely make the child to develop their creativity. In that process, you will also see the different developmental traits, like there will be language use, there will be logical use, there will be creatively, they will start generating creative ideas, they will start associating meaning, they will start what do you call, appreciating self. When they are observing other child's participation, they will start appreciating others' work, they will wait for their turn. If they don't have the materials, they will request, thereby they will have the social development. They will, when they complete the task and when it is meaningful, they will express their emotions also. Wow, my work is so nice, I'm enjoying this work, wow, I've created this. So this is how they will start expressing their emotions. So engaging the learners to create their own material is going to become a meaningful classroom. Right now, I wanted you to observe few of the what do you call, samples which I tried to gather. So taking few examples would definitely help you to create some meaningful manipulatives in your respective classrooms for literature related, mathematical operations, or if you wanted to use the integrated of literature and also math. These are the examples which I can say. Right, and materials that can be purchased from the market. Yes, there are many materials today. Market is rich in their creativity. It means they come up with lots of R&Ds, and today you would see there are yes, they are a bit expensive, but still they are meaningful, and they come up, they add value to your activity centers, they add value to your classroom when, if it is used effectively. But yes, there are the management, the school management invest a huge sum in getting these resources from the market, but unfortunately these things are just, they lie just in their cupboards, because teacher feel it is a responsibility for them to pick up and use it, because sometimes if they have the fear of losing it, or they have the fear of misplacing it, so they don't want to take up the accountability. So that is the reason most of the time these manipulators which are purchased, which are ready-made, are kept in their activity center as a beautification of the center. That's it. So please, teachers, it is not, see, every manipulator which are created, which are prepared by the teacher, or if it has been purchased by the management, is an effective resources provided if the teacher is knowing the art of usage. The effective usage of the resources is what is important. It's the need of the hour. Now, there are a few more examples which I wanted to share with regard to the manipulators. I tried my best to bring in some related pictures for the related topics like the counters, which are very, very important, what do you call, important teaching aid, which I can say, which was going to help every learner in the class to know the meaning behind every number. It means through the counters, it can be beads, it can be pulses, it can be seeds, or it can be anything which has an individual, so that there is an opportunity for the child to position it. Right, the child is able to use the right vocabulary, like one and one more makes two, and one, two, and one more, it is three. One, two, three. Likewise, the child will develop the what do you call, the actual association for the given number when the counters are used. Got it. Now, bundle is also one of the bundle stick is also one of the important what do you call, method for us to what do you call, train our learners to understand the place value. It means this bundle counting would definitely make the learners develop the decimals, base 10 system, and they can associate in the later stage for additions and subtractions also. Right. So like 10 ones make 110, and 110 and 1 makes 11, 110 and 2 ones make 12, 1 tens and 3 ones make 13. Likewise, till 2 tens make 20, 2 tens and 1 ones make 21. So the child will start developing. It means the teacher using the literature along with the numeracy, helping the learners to name, helping the learners to call out the number using the right base value, associating with the counters is very, very important. Right, like Gantimala, arrow bars, all these things are the different rich manipulators which the teacher can use. Yes, the benefit of using manipulators in the class, yes, there is lots of what do you call, significant and impact. And you can say the learning experience would be really rich if the hands-on experiences are provided to the learners, where the opportunity of what do you call, interaction, the opportunity of collaboration, the opportunity of what do you call, critical thinking, problem solving. If all these things are given in the form of a manipulative experience, definitely you would see that the learners are going to gain concrete understanding of the concepts. It means through the manipulators, they learn best when they are physically interacting with objects, and like blocks, counters, or the shapes. This allows them to touch, move, manipulate the objects, which leads them to have a concrete understanding for any of the given concepts. Now, say for example, for the forward counting and the backward counting. Now, after one, if the child is adding one more, it becomes two, and adding one more, it becomes three. So it means the child is now moving the position. And then now, if I keep removing, now the number goes back, and it means when it is a backward counting, the counters are decreasing. So the child is trying to get the concrete understanding of the concepts here. Right, and yes, manipulators are going to help for the sensory stimulation. It means the manipulators will engage the multiple senses, including touch, sight, and sometimes even the sound, which means through the multisensory experiences, the memory retention is enormous, and you will see through the manipulators, the children are engaged in reinforcing their learning. Yes, and it also provides active learning strategy, where the manipulators are going to encourage active participation, which will allow the learners to explore, experience, instead of having a passively receiving information, like teacher somewhere standing in the corner and calling out, saying it aloud, and making the child to just watch her. Rather, if the teacher is engaging the child with the manipulators and coordinating, demonstrating, making the child to participate along with the teacher, would definitely create an active learning scope there. Yes, it is going to give a concept visualization. It means many abstract concepts in the math and the literature can be challenging for the young children to grasp. Like, say, for example, even the letter A, that is letters in the alphabet, or the numbers, it is an abstract concept if it is not being given in a right sense. It means the letters in the alphabet, until unless the child is trained to follow the directionality of knowing the formation of the letter, until unless the child is knowing the associate meaning for the number, sound, the child will not develop that understanding. So a concept visualization, a conceptual understanding are given in the form of a manipulations, right? And yes, this is going to be an effective tool, that is effective score for problem solving skills, because manipulators often come with open-ended possibilities, and it allows the preschoolers to engage with the problem solving and the critical thinking. They can experiment, make predictions, and also they can find solutions independently or in groups, right? And if you talk about the language development, yes, I would definitely recommend the usage of the effective usage of the manipulators would definitely create what you call promotes language development through discussions, storytelling, or repetitions. Here the teacher would try to describe what they are doing, or the teacher is going to instruct how should they do. So all these things would help the child to comprehend, revisit those vocabularies, and try to, when they are asked to come and do the demonstration, the children are going to use the right vocabulary to do their presentation. Yes. And when we try to talk about the mathematical understanding, yes, manipulators are particularly effective in teaching early math concepts like counting, sorting, pattern making, basic arithmetics like additions and subtractions. They also lay a strong foundation for more complex skills in the later stage if the basic foundational mathematical operations are given properly using the manipulators. Yes, and when we talk about the fine motor skills, yes, handling different manipulators improves their fine muscle development and also even the large muscle development. And they will have the good grasping, and they will have a good picture, that is the fist control. They will have they will know the art of manipulating things very confidently. Yes, and which is going to be an effective skill for their later writing skills. Yeah, and when we talk about the benefits of using manipulators, yes, there will be a very good social interaction, because manipulative play often involves group activities, and it fosters social interactions, cooperations, communications. And for the preschooler, they learn to share, they learn to take turns, they will learn to work together. Yeah, and there is an emotional development where you will see the children are allowed to play, to express their emotions, and they are allowed to share their ideas. They are allowed to build their confidence by asking them to come forward, present it. Thereby, they are getting a positive emotions, right? And you would see through the manipulative scope, that is by using manipulations, you would see that there is an inclusive learning where it is suitable for any individual learning styles, and it accommodates the diverse learning ability, and it accommodates every need of a child, where no child is left unattended when the class is engaged with manipulative materials. And you will see the children develop that positive attitude towards the learning if the class is having the freedom of choice, if the classroom is engaging, which the class is giving a scope for enjoyable nature. Definitely you would see that the attitude of the learners would become more positive. Yes, when we talk about how manipulative can be used in the literacy and numeracy, yes, I have listed out few of the literacy activities, which is letter formation, where by using the Play-Doh, you can ask the learners to form the letters, or you can even an ATA would do. so that the child will know the directionality of where to start, how the letter is formed. These could be the simple activity. And you can also use manipulation activities for word building, where you provide some magnetic letters, or you can give them letter cards, the paper, just a simple paper cards would do for them to what do you call build a word. And even for the CVC sounds also, you can start giving such type of letter cards where they can say that is a, b, ab, a, k, ak. Now, keeping both the sound together. Now, adding one more vowel sound or a consonant sound, what happens to the word? Like now, k, ab, cab, d, ab, dab. So likewise, you can start giving such type of scope through these type of activities. And you can also give story sequencing cards, where a story can be actually created in the form of a cards, where you can ask the children to come up with the, what do you call or role play, or you can ask the children to do the sequencing order of the story, or you can divide the whole class into small group, distribute every story card, every scene story card, and ask every group to perform the particular scene. So these type of activity would definitely engage, and it would be more meaningful. Yeah, and you can also use a sight word bingo type of activities, where sight words are generally, they don't have the phonic rules, and they are the connectors for the that is the proper sentence formation, like the word is, was, of, which individually doesn't have a meaning, but without the effective usage of those words, the sentence is not completely formed. So using the sight word bingo type of activity, you would help the learners to frame meaningful sentences using the objects, right? And when we talk about the numeracy activity, yes, counting with counters type of activities, and pattern making, additions and subtractions using the counters again, or you can use the based and blocks. This physical interaction with the materials would definitely help the learners to understand the concept better, and even the shape recognition, and making the child to connect or match the given shape to the objects around. So such type of and asking the child to count the different objects that are there around with the given shape. So what happens? The child will start observing, relating, counting, identifying. All these things are automatically connected with such type of activities. Right now, when we talk about integrating literacy and numeracy activities, where you can use the story math activities, or you can start giving them measurement exploration, like linking the cubes or the small objects to measure the length of the different object. Now, say for example, now this bottle is how many blocks tall. Now, giving the child the bottle with the different blocks, asking the child to connect it, so that the child is physically counting, yes, this bottle is these many blocks tall. So this is the early measurement exploration type of activities. You can also give them the money math, where you can create a mock grocery shop or a mock ice cream shop, where you are helping the child to practice counting, making them to change their roles, like a customer, shopkeeper, where the child is using the different literature skills to discuss about the money involved, the objects to be selected, all these things, no, so that you will see the literature is also happening and the numeracy is also happening. And the graphing or the data analysis, where you are trying to make the class adopt a survey method. Now, say for example, randomly you're trying to give some different colors. Every color is being distributed to some 4 to 5 or 6 in the class, and asking the the class to find out how many got these colors. And with that, the teacher is trying to make the class experience the data analysis. So okay, out of 40 students, these many got 3 colored blocks, three orange colored blocks, 5 have received red color blocks. So likewise, the teacher is helping the learners to do the survey method. Thereby, in the later stage, they will know the data analysis operations. Right now, when we talk about the benefits of manipulators in the literature, right? How can the manipulators promote letter recognition and phonemic awareness, and that is going to lead for the word formation in the later stage. So these things we are going to list out, because using manipulators in the literature that is literacy operations, will definitely make learning more enjoyable, more effective, and it empowers the learners to build confidence, their proficiency in the language acquisition, right? So let's see what are the different activities, that is, what are the different roles, the different areas rather, the manipulators play a vital role. First and foremost thing is letter recognition, where through the multisensory learning activities, where if the learners are engaged to reinforce or associate letters, shapes, and its name, generally what happens, most of the class engage the learners with the writing activity, where something will be written on the board and the children are forced to write in the 4 lines. Most of the children, you can see there would be learners who will be just keeping their hands on head, and they will keep just writing, and you would not see even some expressions on their face, right? So here, through the manipulators, like magnetic letter magnets, or some letter formation cards, or some sand tray techniques and other things, would definitely help the learners to develop that letter identifications. Some hands-on experience, like if you can say, like the child is made to create the formation of the letters using the dough, or the salt tray is given to the child, where the child is experiencing the formation by self. And you can also see that the child, through the physical representation of the letters, the child will grasp that is the concepts very easily, and the child will have that retention more if the child is using such type of hands-on activities, and the child is putting 100% efforts in learning by doing, right? And you would also see that the manipulators would definitely help the learners in in associating the sound with the symbol, where phonics, when we talk about the phonics, the child is able to, that is, these manipulators are going to be a wonderful tool for the teacher to make the learners develop that sound and the symbol association. Like now, say for example, if I talk about the learners need to physically manipulate blending and segmenting. Now, say for example, I'm using the word cat. Now, the letter of C-A-T. Right now, the teacher is removing the the sound of the word, like ka, at, and now the teacher is replacing the ka with the ba sound. Now, what is the word? Ba, at. Ka, at. Now, the teacher can even do the dodging activity, like say for example, pa, ig. Now, can you frame the word there using the letter cards? The teacher can start giving such type of activities using the manipulators, where the children are doing it by self for blending the sounds or segmenting. Blending is connecting, segmenting is separating the sounds, right? And they are also given scope for self-guided practice, experimenting in the phonic sound. It means the children will, through the manipulators, they will start developing the interest to form new words, which can be meaningful or the nonsense words. Like say for example, by using the vowel sound with different consonant sounds, or by using the CV, that is a VC formation sounds, like the say for example, this VC formation is like ug. Now the child is asked to use the consonant symbol, different consonant symbols to blend it. Now, bug. Now the child can, using the next sound, next consonant sound, ka. Now what is the sound? Ka, ag. Is that a meaning? But still the child is trying to do some nonsense word, but at least the child is developing that independent exposure, right? And when we talk about the word formation, yes, there is a hands-on spelling, visual representations. The child is developing the scope of error correction because the child will know self where the child was long using the manipulatives. Yes, and I wanted to even share some of the activities related to these type of tasks where the activities like letter sorting, alphabet match, letter hunt are closely associated for the letter recognition activities, right? And like phonic puzzles, sound manipulations, word family building. So these are the different activities that the teacher can use to enhance the phonic skills. And the activities like word building, word scrabble, or word manipulation game would definitely empower the word formation skill for the learners. Right? When we talk about the benefit of manipulators and numerical skills, yes, for the number sense, the visual representation, subsidizing, where some manipulators like dot patterns or the dice or the 10 frames with support subsidizing, this will develop the ability to recognize the quantity of sets without even counting. The child is able to know, okay, how much is the number, right? How much is the quantity? Likewise, the place value understanding. And when we talk about counting, you would see that the children will be more engaging in counting activities. They will know the error directions. They will know the counting strategies and the basic arithmetic operations like visual operations, understanding the concepts. The facts will become very fluent. Now, say, for example, 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. Now the child is knowing the facts so well, and 2 and 2 is 4, 3 and 1 is 4, 1 and 3 is 4. So these are the facts that the child will develop a fluency when the manipulative scopes are given in the class, right? Now, say for the different activities related to the number sense, like base 10 explorations or the number patterns. And for counting, you can have the counting collections or grouping or the skip counting activities, and activities related to additions and subtraction stories, regrouping patterns. All these things are the wonderful way for developing numerical skills. Right now, when we talk about literacy activity, yes, there are some more activities like letter math, sight word scavenger, story sequencing. When we talk about numerical activities, counter tower, number bond, or using the play-doh, how the child is trying to come up with the number associations, like creating the balls and counting it and placing it according to the given numbers, pattern creations. All these things are the wonderful activities that the teacher can engage in the class. Now, I wanted you to just go with the different activities that can integrate even the literacy and numeracy. This is one sample activity, that is the word problem with the garden, where you are helping the child to do the measurement here using the flower shape manipulators and the one. Now here you will be placing the flower shape manipulators around the room, and each flower contains some word problem card, and child will be walking around the garden, read the word problem and use a manipulator to solve the problem. So this is something which will be more engaging. And now there are few activities that are going to integrate some more activities like letter number hunt. I request the teachers to take a screenshot so that it would be a quick reference for you. So these type of engaging activities using manipulators for literacy and numerical skills would definitely create interactions. The learning will be more enjoyable, learning will be more fun, and by incorporating hands-on experience, the children will have a playful environment. They develop the strong foundation because it is they who are doing it by this there is a self learning, there is a motivation. They develop that positive attitudes towards the class. They will love the class, they will enjoy the environment, they would love every day to come back to the school. Otherwise you will see children coming crying even at the end of the year. Right now, yes, this is one of the other activity which I wanted the teacher to just explore for numeracy, to explore the arithmetic operations, where you can create a mock setup of a bakery or an ice cream parlor and make the learner to practice hands-on experience of fixing the price and trying to collect the money. Right. And I would recommend for every activity, whatever the teacher is trying to decide, there should be a stepwise instructions, and you have to make sure that the learners are developing a sense of understanding while they are following the demonstration of your activity. Like say, for example, see, this is a sample way I wanted you to understand how a stepwise instruction is needed for the child's understanding. Because until unless the child comprehends to the instruction, the child will not be an effective user of the manipulator nor an effective participant for the class. So it's very important how the teacher try to use a stepwise instruction. Now, say for example, this is a letter match activity where the scope is for the letter recognition, where you are preparing a set of magnetic letters or the letter cards. You are asked to create a corresponding picture with the objects or the animals that starts with the targeted letter, and display the magnetic letter of the cards and make the flat surface. You are the pictures are scattered around the table, and you are going to invite the children to match the magnetic letter to the correct picture. Here you will be encouraging them to name the letter and also make the learners to match the picture to the beginning sound of the letter. You are also going to provide an instruction to the learner saying that they have to say the letter name for the called out beginning sound. Now, once the learners complete the task, you're going to celebrate. It means you're going to appreciate. So what will happen? You will see the child's physical development, logical development, social development, creative development, aesthetic development. See, you are trying to cover all the domains of development, right? So such type of activity would definitely create more scope. So it means what? The child needs to know what was expected from the teacher so that the learner's participation will be more effective. Now, when we try to talk about the numerical activity, yes, the procedure would remain the same, where for the effective participation, your stepwise instruction is very, very important. Got it, teachers? Right. Now, integrating manipulative in your curriculum is also equally important, because until unless the teacher is given that scope, until unless the class is given that scope of effective usage of the manipulative is a must in the classroom transaction. If the scope is not given, yes, you would see the manipulators or the teaching aids would be just lying in the cupboard. Right. So here are a few strategies that I wanted you to observe, learn, so that you can start incorporating these points in your school curriculum. Yes. First and foremost thing is I wanted the teachers to identify the learning objectives. It means if by clearly defining the learning objectives you want to achieve with your manipulators, whether it is for promoting the letter recognition or the number skills, or you wanted the problem solving techniques, or whatever is the specific goal you are targeting on, try to first list out the learning objectives, and then based on the learning objectives try to create the manipulators or try to get the manipulators accordingly. And yes, it is very important creating the resource collection. It means build a diverse collections of manipulators suitable to your pre-primary learners. any manipulative that this class is using should be age appropriate and stage appropriate. See, the age and the stage is very, very important, and include the items like magnetic letters, counting cubes, pattern blocks, play dows, fraction tiles, and whatnot. Whichever is age appropriate for the class you are dealing with would be a very good resource collection bank for you. And align with the curriculum. It means when you're writing your lesson plans or when you're using your lesson plans, ensure if the lesson plans are given as a ready-made document for you, or if the teacher is making the lesson plan, ensure that you are trying to align the manipulative scope in your curriculum, right? And it should be integrated with what existing subjects or the existing concepts that you're dealing with for that particular lesson or for the particular week or for the particular topic, right? And yes, it should start with the teacher-directed activity. It means begin with a teacher-led activity when you introduce any manipulative and their purpose. Demonstrate to the learners of how to use, when to use, and give a model for them to understand the learning process so that they can become the independent users in the later stage, right? And provide hands-on exploration where you're encouraging the learners to explore manipulatives independently during their free play, or when there is a circle time, or if it is the concept-based transaction. Offer open-ended activities that allow them to be creative, or allow them to use manipulative to find out something. It is again the teacher's choice and how she is setting the learning objectives. Now, yes, manipulatives play a major role in the group activities, or if it is a peer activity. And yes, there should be always a differentiated instruction. It means adopt manipulative activities to accommodate diverse learning styles and the ability. It means not every child in the class have the same interest or the same ability. So you need to accommodate the class with the differentiated instruction and link the manipulatives using the real life scenario where the learners are adopting what you call a practical situation. Say, for example, use money related, or like setting up the grocery shop, or you're trying to what do you call talking about the traffic signals, or you are trying to what do you call keep all the pulses where the children are sorting the pulses according to their color or the size and other things, right? And yeah, whatever the child's engagement is, it is very important the teacher is documenting the child's interaction when either in the form of photographs or the videos or the written observations. Yes, which will allow you to assess their progress. You can also identify their strengths, the areas where you have to focus more for their improvement, or you can also use these documentation to celebrate the learner's achievement. Yeah, it is very important how you are also engaging the family. It means involving the parents in the manipulative based activities would definitely create a major advantage, because making the child that is providing the resources to the family for the learners to have the continuity for home and the school. There should be always a equal collaboration between a home and the school, so that the child is having a proper edutainment. Right now, coming back to the reflect and adapt, it means when the teacher is regularly reflecting on the effective usage of the manipulative, the teacher can start making necessary adjustments based on the children's response or their interest. When you are open for the new ideas, when you adopt your approach to meet the new needs of your learners, when you start exchanging your ideas with your colleague, when you start learning new ideas from your colleague, definitely you would see a sea change. Your classroom transaction would be more meaningful and more interesting. Got it, teachers? So it's very important that we adopt these strategies when we are trying to integrate our manipulation scope in our curriculum, right? And yes, it's very important to address the challenges. Definitely, for any good thing, there would be challenging, and you need to know how to overcome those challenges in your curriculum. Basically, you will see the safety concerns, you will see limited resources. Sometimes you will see using manipulative would be a Hercules task for the classroom management, but by adopting a proper and a structured classroom management strategies, definitely you would overcome this challenge. And yes, there are individual differences, because many they have their that is children have their own thirst, they have their own behavioral challenges, or they have their own what do you call, differences in their opinion to participate in the class. So it means the teacher need to offer guidance, support, wait patiently, provide proper scaffolding for them to be a part of the participant, right? And yes, cleanliness and hygiene is also a very big challenge, because these material absorbs dust, and the children tend to put these materials in their mouth, so they get infected. So frequent cleanliness, because sometimes support staff would be the major problem. So it's very important how the cleanliness and the hygiene is maintained in the campus regularly, and integrating with the curriculum, because most of the teachers would fail, or I would rather say they don't know the art of integrating manipulative scope in their curriculum. They just wanted to complete the writing activity or assessment activity, rather than ensuring whether the learners are learned it. Right. So integrating in the curriculum is also is one of the major challenge. But if the teacher try to understand, or if the teacher is having the open-mindedness in adjusting the activities in the curriculum, so that she can ensure a smooth integration of the manipulators in the curriculum. Yeah, and differentiated instructions. Yes, we were trying to talk more about differentiated instructions and teacher preparation. Yes, again, this is the biggest challenge, because teacher comes up with bundles and bundles of commitments, or she would rather say there is lots of what do you call back-end work. But yes, these type of webinars or teacher attending towards the workshops of different professional development courses would definitely help the teacher to get some insight, and the teacher's preparation to create the manipulators or to purchase the right manipulator for the class would be more meaningful there. Yeah, and then the storage and organizing. Yes, during my audit visits, I have seen many times there would be a number of resources, but it would be scattered, it would be meaningless, or there would not be a proper organization skill by the teacher, where the effective usage would be incomplete there. Right. So this is also a biggest challenge. So here I would recommend, rather than what you call just throwing, because every material which is being purchased or prepared has a value. So it's very important how effectively the teacher is getting trained in organizing, like labeling, or putting it in the right container, storing it in the proper order, and so that it is easily accessible to the children, and training the children after completing the task, they putting it right. Right. So it is all very important, the teacher adopting such a culture in the school. Right. And it is very important how a parental understanding is also done. It means most of the parents are not familiar with the effective usage of the manipulator. Sometimes the teacher sends some manipulator home, where these type of letter cards, number cards will be sent to the home for the learners to actually participate in the home activity, but sometimes that is left unused because parent doesn't know how to use it, or they don't hardly invest time in sitting with the children, right? And yes, sometimes time constraint is also a biggest problem, where you would see most of the time cleaning up the materials or setting back is again a biggest task if the class is more than 25. Right. So these would be the major challenge. But yes, the teacher can adopt some good strategies. She can come up, she can take some help from others or the support staff, so that there would be an effective usage of the resources. Yeah. When we talk about best practices, yes, clear learning outcomes, and when we start incorporating what do you call concrete manipulators, and when we start using the models to demonstrate, yeah, and when we encourage our learners to explore and discover, when we start incorporating multisensory learning, when we start connecting to the real life context, or when we foster collaborative learning experience and adopting differentiated instructions, when we encourage reflections, yes, teacher will start using, that is linking the manipulators experience in a better way, rather than just controlling the teaching experience only by the chalk and talk method. Got it, teachers? And yes, it is very, very important for us to, as the teachers, to observe, guide, and foster creativity using the manipulators. How the children are using, what the children are using, how effectively they are trying to participate. Thereby, we are checking on their creativity, we are checking on their behavioral problem, we are checking their social skills, their emotional skills, right? And yes, it is very important encouraging the parental involvement. It means the parents are also informed, either by creating some manipulators in the at home, like using the simple kitchen tools or some papers or something. So thereby, the child is not missing entertainment even at home. Got it? And yes, you can also plan to have take-home activities or the resources for the different themes. And yes, there is a need of the technology integration, or the digital support, the audio visual aids, which is also a part of the manipulative experience. And here the teacher should know the type of technology to be used at this stage, and the diversity of the content and the format and the access. It means what type of content, what is the age appropriate content, what is the format, is the format given by the school, or is the format ready-madely available, and how to access, whether
I think we lost connection. Just a minute, audience. We'll get back to you. Till the time, you can post your queries. I had seen some of the hands were raised. You can always post your queries here. We can see some good questions posted here. Keep on posting your question till the time ma'am is back. Monica ma'am, you had raised your hand. Some of the few other teachers also had raised hands. You can always post your query. Yes, ma'am is back. Ma'am, unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. So, dear teachers, thank you so much for your patience. Hope you have got some insight about what do you call the effective usage of the manipulators, and the importance, knowing the importance of using manipulators for FLN program. Thank you so much for your patience. And any doubts, or do we need to have a further discussion about?
Yes, so dear audience, the platform is open for you to ask questions. There are some questions coming up, ma'am. So we'll take some 5 minutes of question answers round. Could you please suggest some good websites for purchasing manipulatives?
See, now since it is an open platform, online platform, I don't want to disclose. I think it's better that we have a self survive for that. That would be better rather than me calling out the website name.
Yes, and also you mentioned, I think that mostly you should take it from the local area so that you can get it again.
Rather than going for other geographical location, it is better that they can locally select. It's more easy for the replacements or to get connected with the local vendors. It would be more cost effective also.
Right.
Any questions as of now, Prabha?
Yeah, the slide mentioning the kinds of manipulative. Ma'am, if you have missed out some of the things, you can always go back to refer certain, you can go back and refer the recordings. They wanted to see the slides again, so you can always go back. There are all praises for you, ma'am. I don't find any. Yes, next session date, I'll be announcing it soon. Don't worry. Yes, there is one more question. Which things can we do for slow learners for their betterment? Please suggest something.
See, the selection of manipulative, it means why do you call them as a slow learner? No child is slow in learning. So actually labeling the child as slow learner is the biggest sin actually. Rather, you need to understand why the child is not able to. What is the reason the child not able to participate or to perform, right? For that, the teacher need to understand the ability of the learner. Is the child finding difficulty in understanding your question, or the child finding difficulty in using the manipulative? Where is the child finding that? So try to scaffold, try to correct it, try to support the child for the child's understanding rather than labeling the child slow learner.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inputs. There is one more question. Ma'am, do you think it is very easy for making the parents understand the importance of edutainment activities, as we have parents who believe in homework and not? I think.
See, that's what let the parent don't that is are not allowed to decide the curriculum what the school is actually incorporating. Motivate the parent, induct the parent, orient the parent, what is the culture that the school is trying to transform, and make the parent, educate the parent in such a way where they understand the philosophy of the school rather than targeting on homeworks. Encourage the child, that is, make the child to go back home and talk about the learning experience. Orient the parents, call for a parent orientation program, educate the parent, what are the things that are supported by the school. And now if I ask you to think about a pig in your mind, what happens to you? Now if I ask you to draw Rupa, now since everybody cannot talk, now I'm asking Rupa. Rupa, come on, think about a pig in your mind and draw. Now, how do you feel?
So a picture comes.
Do you like to touch the pig? Do you like to pet the pig? Do you like to go near the pig? You don't feel like. The same is the case for the pre-primary learners when the child is carrying a baggage of a homework. Right? Let the parent understand the beauty of a child exploring, engaging with the manipulators. Even and allowing the child to open a newspaper, identify, use a two-colored crayon, identify the lowercase letter A in red color, identifying uppercase letter A with green color, circling. Is that not an activity? It can be a homework activity, right? So This is how a teacher can give homeworks, right? When you talk about ascending order or descending order, the child can relate with the parents, that is the family members of smallest to the oldest. such type of integrated activity can be given as a homework. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Two more questions. One is about the autistic child, the person who has asked yesterday, also the teacher. So they wanted to know if there are some special manipulatives for autistic child. And there is one more question coming up.
See, the child at this age can actually adopt, though the child is an autistic child, but the child has all the, what do you call, all the power of using the similar manipulative with the general classes using. Right. So do not, what do you call, separate or chunk the child with the other learners in the class. Allow the learner to use the same manipulatives. Only thing is the teacher's individual attention is more important.
Right. Another question is, I think this is the last question that we'll be taking up. How to deal with those students who doesn't want to take any interest in any of the activity and he's busy in his old world. So,
that is absolutely the failure of the teacher. The teacher's motivation, the teacher's positive word, the teacher in helping the child to be a part in the class with the positive words and positive gesture would definitely motivate. You cannot see children at that age staying separately in the class. It's purely the teacher's efforts here.
Yes. So give more efforts, dear teachers. You will be get back those children who are lost in their own world. Yeah. So I thank you very much, all the dear audience, for staying with us for the entire session, and also participating, asking some very good relevant questions, first of all. And to announce about the certificates and all, as you all know, we'll be sending you the feedback link in your registration ID. So fill up those feedback form, and then you will get the certificates. Otherwise, you can always get in touch with the consultant that are coming to your place for training and for regarding the certificate troubles. Another announcement I would like to make is on 29th, we have a quiz after the session. Before that, we are still left out with very important 2 more sessions for FLN. So this is a wide range of webinars that has been arranged by Eschan Publishing for the teachers of very important lot, I must say, from these foundational stage of children. So please do go through these, involve into these kind of trainings. I'll be announcing this topic for 28th July 2023, enabling language and literacy development in early childhood, in early years, right? So the next one will be about numeracy, making your students competent in foundational literacy, foundational numeracy. So both are very important topics. So see you next week on Friday, 28th, and I'm sure you will have a lot of takeaways again. If you want to go through these, details of the training, you can always go to the recordings that are available on our YouTube channel. You'll be able to find easily by just typing CPD workshops by Eschan. So you'll be able to find out all the list of it. And I thank you today's, speaker. And she's given us insight about manipulatives and given us a lot of activities. You can always go back to check those activities and apply in your classroom. Do come back on Friday to share with us how was those activities, how are they working in the classroom. And thank you and happy weekend to all of you.
Happy weekend to you all too. Thank you so much, team. Thank you so much. Good day. Bye.